Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle. For those of you who don't know me, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by today. Today we are talking about the Face Candy Atlantis palette. It is, you know, the actual Icy Betch palette that was going to be made by Tarte. Their April Fool's joke. Yes, I rolled my eyes because they should have just made that palette. But I am glad that a brand did decide to dupe it because it's so pretty. And we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about this palette. We're going to talk about my first impressions. I do want to let you guys know that I have worn this palette on my eyes at least 3 other times. I don't feel like I have my opinion 100% formed, and I think I need to take a little more time and kind of play with this palette more. So this is going to definitely be more of a first impressions versus it being like my final thoughts on this palette. Just because I want to make sure that I have my thoughts fully formed before I tell you guys one way or another about how I feel about this palette. So we're going to do some swatches today. You're also going to see how I created this look. So we're going to go ahead and start off with swatching the Atlantis palette. I will be talking a little bit about the shadows themselves and things like that as we do this. So we're just going to go ahead and get into the swatching portion. So I'm going to swatch it going this way, so it'll start off with this white going to the end and doing each row like that. Right off the bat, one of the things that I noticed when I dip my fingers in is the matte shadows are very, very smooth to the touch. But as you can see, they are a bit powdery. So there are the first 4. And those first 4, this is Whitecap, Ripples, Oceanic, and Stormy Waters. Then we're going to go into Abyss, Deep Sea, Poseidon, and Tsunami. That's what those look like. And I just go back over them just to make sure you guys can see the colors. But there are those 4. I kind of really want to play. I've swatched Tsunami before, but I have not put Tsunami on my eyes yet. So I'm hoping to do that soon. Then we are going to go into Tidal, Swell, Vanished, and Empire. There you are. There are all of the swatches. So now we are going to go into the tutorial portion. I am going to leave all of my thoughts for the very end of this video. I also wanted to let you guys know that I will be doing a 3 looks 1 palette with this eyeshadow palette, not this week, but next week. So if you would like to see how I got this look, then just continue watching. Hey, we're using the Atlantis palette, and we're using the shade Whitecaps, and I'm just putting that all over my lid. The next shade we're going to use is Abyss, and I'm using this as a transition shade / crease color. Just working it in there. And then we're going to go into the shade Empire, and this is going directly into my crease. This shade does take a little bit to build up. And then I go back and forth with Abyss and Empire just to get it blended in as nicely as I want it to. Then just going to blend that, go back in with Abyss here. Blend both eyes. Next we're going in with Tidal, and I highly recommend getting this shade wet before you put it on your eyes. I do go back and forth with Empire just to make sure everything is nicely blended and it looks cohesive on my eye. There I am, spraying the brush again. Now we're doing the other eye. I really like wearing blue eyeshadow lately. I'm so happy that I did get this palette. It has been fun to play with. But as I said, I'm still trying to kind of get my final thoughts together about this whole thing. Next, we're going to line the eyes, and I'm using my Pretty Vulgar, the Ink Blacklist Gel Eyeliner. I love this eyeliner, as you guys know. It is a staple for me. I've been really enjoying going back to gel eyeliner. There's that wing. Next, we're going to use the Vintage Eye Pencil. This is in black. I did go in with the BH Cosmetics Blacklight palette in the shade Queen, and I just put that in my inner corner. There wasn't anything really I wanted to use other than something a little brighter and bold. And then I go in with Abyss, and I line underneath my eyes. Next, we're using Medusa's Makeup Witch Lash Mascara. I really do like this mascara. I really like how it makes my lashes look. Gotta do those lower. Then we're going to go in with the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in Trap. Sorry for the up the nose shot. I'm trying to figure out why I do that. There you are. There is the finished look. So pretty. Thank you guys for sticking through that tutorial. Now I wanted to get into some of the things that I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video because I got super excited to swatch these eyeshadows for you guys. The first thing is that this palette is $14 and you can get it on Shop Hush. There are 12 shades in here if you did not know that already. Just wanted to let you guys know that because I forgot to mention it at the beginning of this video. Again, I got super excited to swatch these for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and kind of get into my thoughts about this palette. One of the things I noticed is that all of the matte shades are very, very powdery. So with that being said, powdery shadows don't necessarily bug me, but I would not recommend doing your face makeup prior to doing your eyes. I recommend doing your eyes first because you are going to get some fallout on your face. It's going to happen. It's part of powdery eyeshadows, but these are pretty pigmented for what I've kind of played around with. I will say this, today was my first time playing with the shade Empire, and I really had to kind of build that one up. It is not as pigmented as it's swatched on my eyes. That is one thing that I did notice about this. I also really like the shade Abyss, but if you guys notice, I had to continually go over it and really build it up. So those are some things that I kind of noticed with this. I will say for the shimmer shades, you are going to want to wet your brush. And I have a feeling with the shade Tsunami, you're going to want to use a glitter glue just because it is very glittery and sparkly and it's a little chunkier than the other shimmer shades that are in this shadow. And just so you know, there are 7 mattes, which I really like that they put so many mattes in here, but I also like that they put so many shimmers in different colors. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmers in here. So 5 shimmers, 7 mattes, which I think is a decent amount of shimmers to mattes. I kind of prefer having more mattes to shimmers because I always feel like I can kind of do something with the shimmers, but yeah. And for sure, if you aren't going to wet your brush with any of these other shades, I highly recommend doing it with Tidal. As you guys noticed in the tutorial, I did have to go in and wet my brush. As a reminder, I am going to be doing a 3 looks 1 palette edition with this palette. It won't be up this week, it will be up next week. I just need to work on filming some of the looks and things, but I am excited to play around with this and come up with different looks. I have been enjoying this palette, but as I said before, this is not a final thoughts. I want to play with it a little more, do a few more looks, really kind of dig into it before I give my final thoughts on the Face Candy Atlantis palette. This is just a first impressions. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Well, thank you again and bye!